Good morning. We are in South Bend in UK. Going to do another cross-country flight across the UK. And yeah, what we saying here? So we're saying it's going to be a bit over an hour. We'll see how well that works out. So my goal is to at the in-between airports to do a touch and go and do a full stop at the final airport. So that's kind of what the plan is. So we'll have to see how it goes. Frames this morning are looking fairly good. So I made a couple of graphical settings to try to get the shimmering reduced, and from what I'm seeing, looks like it's a lot better. I'm pretty happy with what I'm getting, and I'm getting pretty good frames. So because the weather isn't too bad today, I'm using live weather, and we'll kind of go from there. I gotta check like one thing to see if I'm using live time or not. Let me look. Nope. Well, now. So it should be about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and so should be able to get the flight all done before the sun sets. But the sun will be dropping lower in the sky as we do our flight. So kind of why I picked this time of morning on the East Coast. Means it's in the late afternoon in the UK. So alrighty, we'll go ahead and do some initial checks here.
OBS sim sound.
OBS sim sound. Alrighty, looks like that's working.
Check. Mod mic in position.
Yep, it's in position.
Check. OBS mod mic sound.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yep.
Check. OBS streaming.
Yeah, I can see. I can certainly see it. We're streaming.
Check. Over toolkit windows.
Pilot ATC is here, so we got that.
Check. Fly with Lewis sounds script.
We got that.
Check. AVI tab plugin.
Have a tab. We got that.
Check. Rep weight and balance.
I checked these before the stream, so I'm just gonna ignore them.
Maintenance log. Check. 2 brakes. Test and set. 3 fuel selector. Both. 4 fuel shutoff valve. On, in. 6 beacon. On. 7 avionics switch. Off. 8 master switch. On. 9 throttle. Open 1/4 inch. 10 mixture. Idle cut off. A auxiliary pump. On. B mixture. Rich until 3 to 5 GPH, then cut off. C auxiliary pump. Off. 12 starter. Engage. 1 ignition switch. Start. 2 mixture, at engine start. Rich. 3 engine. RPM 1000 RPM. 4 oil pressure. Check. 5 mixture. Leaned max. 6 flaps. Retract. 7 avionics. On. 8 instruments.
So the elevation here is 45 feet. Looks like that's what we got. Notch past 21. Going towards south. That notch there. Yep, good.
Set. 1 brakes.
Alrighty, we're good with our checklist. So we'll just do some other preliminary checks while we wait for the oil temperature to get up into the green. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, say weather.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf weather at Echo Golf Mike Charlie is few clouds. Visibility is unrestricted, winds are 320 at 7 knots, cloud coverage is 2,800, few clouds. Current altimeter is 3042. Temperature 14 dew.8.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, say active runway.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf arriving and departing runway 23.
Okay. Cool. So let's check our flight plan, make sure we got the right flight plan here. Yep. MC to SC. Yep. We look good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So about 3 or 4 days ago, I did a stream, and I'm not sure what happened, but towards the next to last airport I landed at, I looked over at my fuel gauge, and it said I had like about 5.5 gallons on each tank, and I went, oh, okay, that should be fine to get to the next airport. No need to worry. So I'm on the left side of the runway, and kind of doing a teardrop to do a left downwind. And as I'm kind of doing that maneuver, all of a sudden I look, and I have low fuel warning, and I went, what the? How did that happen? I mean, this was like minutes, and before I kind of like glanced down at the fuel gauge, and the fuel gauge was like in the red. I'm like, so in less than 5 minutes, I lost at least 5 gallons of fuel out of each tank. I'm like, how is that even possible? So, I mean, in real life, it's not. So, shortly thereafter, all of a sudden I look, and the plane, good morning, Iowa, and the engine stopped. I mean, it run completely out of fuel. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll put some more fuel in it. So I just put enough fuel in it to kind of get me back to to get to do a landing and do a touch and go and then take off. Before I got the teardrop finished and I was on the downwind, I was at a place where I needed to put fuel back in it again. At that point in time, I put probably half a plane load of fuel in it, and between the time I did the touch and go and then the next airport was about 60 miles away, I had to completely fill the tanks 3 times. It was almost like, I mean, I had a fuel leak and I could not find out what, and so because of that, I actually have in my cockpit, I actually have the actual digital numbers for the gallons of fuel. Is the fuel cap off? Am I dumping fuel? So I did another stream after that, no issues. So it was kind of like evidently a one-off, but that was just beyond crazy. I had never ever seen that before. Talk about stressful though. It's kind of like, I mean, I couldn't believe like I run the plane completely out of fuel. I mean, it's like I've never ever done that. I may have had a low fuel indication on, but never run it completely out of fuel. Alrighty, it looks like we're in the green. Get permission to taxi. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, ready to taxi.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf taxi to runway 23 via taxiways Alpha, hold short runway 23.
Okay, all I gotta do is figure out where Alpha is. I'm gonna zoom this guy up a little bit. Alrighty. So, that's Alpha. Alrighty, so I gotta get spun around and get over there. I've got the heading indicator dialed in, so let's see, we got taxi light. Okay, we're good. Trying to find a... I think I'm going the right way here. There we go. That's pretty cool. Big old radar beacon there, and that's the airport. That's pretty neat. Alrighty. Yep, looks like we're on Alpha. Certainly looks like there's a lot of power lines around here. So looks like I gotta make a right here. Got a little carried away with my rudders there. Part of it is I'm taxiing a bit quick. So we should have a whole chart coming up here pretty quick.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf advise when ready for departure.
Runway ahead. Okay. So let's get things set up here. Strobes on. Landing lights, taxi lights off. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf ready for departure.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 320 at 7 knots, altimeter 3042, cleared for takeoff, runway 23.
Kudoki. This taxiway comes in at a little bit of an angle here. Hey, we got quite a displaced threshold here. So we got it rolled around. Okay. Already got her straightened up here. Okay, dokie. Everything look good, yep. Runway 23. Up we go. See where she's trimmed at. Yep, look good. Okay, 500 feet above the ground here. I'm gonna do a left-hand. I'm just gonna do a slow left-hand turn here. I need to get to a heading of 295. So actually, it's over to my right, but I'm just gonna try to just do a left circuit here to get out away from the airport, and then get on my course. Weather doesn't look too bad. Bit hazy, but not bad. So we'll go ahead, and we're just making, just trying to get out away from the airport here before we get on course. So I'm coming up on 1500. I'm gonna pull the power back to 2200, and then I'll try to get her trimmed here for trim for level flight right here. The railway station there, or like for freight, like what they call that, like a siding, but it was like a lot of tracks, like maybe 12 tracks side by side.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, enjoy your afternoon. Frequency change approved.
Okay. So we're just kind of like circling the airport at a pretty good radius to try to get ourselves on course. Yeah, we're getting closer to on course. Haven't quite got there yet. Yeah, that'd be pretty close. 295, so 300. Yep. That's close enough. What does it say my heading is? It says my heading is 308. I'm gonna move this just a little bit. That's better. Starting to get level here. We're 44 miles out, so 28 minutes. Yeah, I'm using a slightly different graphic setting. Trying to reduce the like the shimmers, especially with like light poles and that kind of stuff. And so far, I'm pretty happy with how it's looking. The one major thing I did was turn the I always had been running with HDR on, and I kind of seen that some people are running one notch below that, even with even people with a 3090 card. And the one person he's got a 3090 and he's running a Vive Pro. So I'm running a Vive Pro too. So I'm running the same video card as he is, and but a beefier, but a more demanding headset. So I kind of like went, well, let me try that, you know. So he's running his anti-aliasing a little bit higher than I am. So I'm kind of working my way up, and so I'm kind of I personally find that like 45 frames is kind of my sweet spot, so I try to keep there. And I may if I let the frames go a little bit lower, I might be able to run the anti-aliasing a little bit higher. But the point is that everything looks nice. So if I can keep it looking this nice and keep the frames at around 45, then that's cool. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Just doing some testing, and the fact that the weather's the way it is today, yeah, that's cool. So I mean, I got bunches of greens. I got no reds, none. And the weather is really overcast. Well, overcast is the wrong term. But there is a lot of stuff in the sky that the engine has to draw. So that always taxes it, especially in VR. And so the fact that everything looks nice in the cockpit, everything out the cockpit looks nice. I don't see what I actually look for the shimmering is power lines. Power lines are really, really hard to get right if you don't have the anti-aliasing turned up high enough. If it's kind of low, you'll see them shimmer, and if you can see them as power lines, then that's good enough anti-aliasing, at least as I see it. Okay. Jump over. Look at my graphic settings for just a quick minute here. Yeah, so I have that on medium. Texture quality's on high. I might be able to run that higher. Anti-aliasing 4x, anti-isotropic at 2x. So. Yeah, gonna be fun finding airports today. It's not really bad visibility, but it just, when it's hazy like that, you just can't see as far. I was watching a streamer yesterday or the day before, can't remember, and he's like about 13 miles from the airport. He was in Microsoft Flight Simulator. But it was hazy like this, kind of real similar weather. And he's like 13 miles out, and you can't figure out why you can't see the airport. I'm thinking, when it's this hazy, I'm probably 2 or 3 miles out before I'm real sure that where that airport is. And once you get closer, like a mile and a half, then all of it becomes pretty obvious where the runway is, and if there's more than one, all that good stuff. But more than 5 miles, like in this kind of weather, no, you cannot. There isn't enough detail out there to. The haze just kind of just mushes it all out. So now, if I had a zoom, I actually think I do. I just have to figure out what the command is. If you have a zoom where you could like zoom in, so it would be like you had a pair of binoculars in the cockpit. But quite frankly, most people don't have them. so it isn't really realistic. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do, is at least make my flights realistic. So, like, if you would fly this in real life, what would it look like? And I really try my best to make that true. So you don't use too many helpers, to kind of diminish that. So the same way as I don't fly an autopilot. I have my flight plan in here, but I'm just kind of following the magenta line, not having the airplane fly it. So it kind of helps with preparation for an upcoming airport. How far away is it? When do you need to contact the tower? All that good stuff. So it helps tremendously with that. Less definition in the clouds, but looks like the visibility went down a little bit here. Because I could see some clouds up above me now, but I don't see them. It's just kind of I don't even know what to call it. It's just a haze. But temperature's fine. Got 52 degrees, so even if you're flying through some moisture, no real big deal. Yeah, the replacement headset, Vive Pro 2, is actually working quite well. I'm quite happy that I sent it in for repair. They were going to repair it. They replaced it, and I'm quite happy with with how it's looking. Because I'm running the resolution. What I'm feeding X-Plane is a little bit. The native resolution of this headset is 2448 by 2448, and I'm running just under that, about 100 per side under that. It's what I'm giving X-Plane. So, but I can just turn over here, and I can clearly see the distance is 29.3. I mean, I don't have to lean in. I just look over, and that's what it is. So, to me, that's kind of that's good enough, and it's kind of what I want in a VR headset, is to have that kind of clarity in the cockpit, and the clarity outside is is much the same. When I was taxiing on the taxiways, on the taxiway, yes. The taxiway signs were easy to tell, you know, that I'd seen an A4. It was easy to determine, to see them signs at a distance. I didn't have to be on top of them to see it. I could see them at a distance, and that's the other thing you look at is how well that works. Does can you see those kind of signs before you're on top of them? So, and that was true also. So all in all, I'm happy with my choice. I do see that, who is that? Valve. It looks like Valve's going to come out with a new headset in 6 months or so. I think it's called a Decker or something like that. And that looks quite entertaining. So we'll have to see what that brings. Because I've made up my mind, I will, I bought one Windows Mixed Reality headset, and I don't plan on buying another one. Actually, the one that I have is actually in the box. I gotta get it to my girlfriend's grandson. I gotta get it to him. So he was gonna buy one. I says, don't buy one for a few months. Let me figure out what I'm doing. So now that I've got it figured out that I'm not going to use it anymore, I'll let him enjoy it. The biggest problem I had with it is it wasn't real friendly to Steam VR. It would work, but it wasn't real friendly to it. And Steam VR is very important to me for the tools I use to stream with. So the fact it didn't tend to play real nice with it. It worked, but it just didn't play nice. And the my Vive Pro 2, it's a native Steam VR headset. It's kind of got some quirky software with it, but it is native Steam VR. So the Steam VR tools work, and they work without any issue. So 23.7 miles out. We get about 20 miles out. I'll go ahead and pull up the next airport on Abitab, and so I can kind of see what's going on. I'll put in the standby frequency, standby COM 1. I'll put the tower frequency in there. So I'll be ready at 10 miles out to contact the tower. Go pop outside. So this is probably not too realistic, but it'd be kind of cool if you could do this. Yeah, I just want to pop out of the plane and kind of watch it from the from behind it. So, pretty cool. Must be a water tower over there by the looks of it. It's kind of big enough to be one. Yeah, gotta be a water tower. Can't think of what else it would be. Yeah, before I get too far off course, better get back inside. Oops. Whenever I go from outside to inside, I always have a hard time trying to get the plane kind of lined up. Alrighty, a little bit off course. Altitude ain't too bad, just course-wise I'm a little off. Alrighty, where are we going next? EGGW Luton, okay. Let me put that down a little bit. So we got 2 towers, so let's do it this way. Slider doesn't want to slide. Here we go. Looking for EGGW. There is 2 towers. Hopefully we're on the right one. On course? Yep. Okay. Alrighty. We'll find out. A little bit high. That's better. A little bit misaligned with the cockpit. It's kind of easy to get yourself not like square with the cockpit. So in other words, if I put my controller on my desk, I'm up against the desk here and here. So I'm kind of a little bit crooked. I'm a little bit crooked with the desk. So it's not bad, but sometimes a little hard to actually get in that position, because it's relevant to where you're looking. So in other words, if I told it to go in the, if I click on the trigger button, it says get in pilot seat. If I put my head like this, that'll be in a different position. It'll be in a completely different position. So it's kind of important when you're setting your position to try to look at the same thing. And also with my physical yoke, to be trying to look at the center be looking down the center of the shaft, even though you can't see it. To be looking down the center of the shaft at the same time to try to align everything up in the cockpit. Well, that was a weird scenery load. Okay, elevation at Luton is 523. What kind of weather we got? 320, 26. We'll probably be at 26. What kind of runway? 6,700 feet. So elevation 523. So our pattern will be 1,500 feet. I have been flying at about 1,500 feet, so but the pattern's 1,500. So what it basically means is that the elevation here is 500 feet higher than what it was when where I took off from. And you can't, I can't see the difference. In other words, we must have just gradually went up in elevation. So because I don't see any legitimate hills, not 500-foot hills anyhow. I just don't see them. So, but as hazy as it is, it may be hard to kind of discern that also. Alrighty. Tower, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is South End Tower on 127.72, go ahead.
Whoops. Tower, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Tower, go ahead.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, inbound to land.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, good afternoon. Squawk 1200, enter pattern on a left downwind for runway 26.
Okay.
Call downwind.
So, I picked the right runway, and she said 26. So 26 lines up with what the airport that I am planning on flying to. So that's all good signs that I am actually flying to the right airport. I talked to the right tower, and I've been basically. They're aware that I'm coming in to do a landing. So what I'll do is when I get when I actually see the airport, and I am on the downwind, then I will request to do a touch and go while I'm on the downwind. And I've tried before to like do that ahead of time, doesn't work, or I've been unsuccessful, I'll put it that way. I wouldn't say it doesn't work, I've just been unsuccessful. So I just wait until I'm on the, I can clearly see the airport. I know I'm on the downwind, and make the request then. And it's just a lot less grief. And you have more than enough time on a, once you actually see an airport get set up for doing a down the peak to get on the downwind, you have way more than enough time to put that request in. And then I always, she says, you know, when you make your downwind call, she'll tell you to make your call turn in final. And when you make that call, it's just a second confirmation that she'll tell you cleared for the option, whatever the runway is. So in this case, it'll be runway 26. So that way you're sure that the tower is aware that you want to touch and go, and you've been cleared for it. So. Because I have to admit, I've been using Pilot ATC for quite some time now, and it actually does, for the type of flying that I want to do. I don't want to necessarily, to fly on an online network, you have to fly kind of when there's controllers, or you're just going to use CTAP. So if you're using CTAP, kind of, what's the point of being online? So Pilot ATC allows me to fly when I want to fly, and I get that that ATC interaction that I appreciate. I don't necessarily do flight following. I don't. When I first started, I did that, but I don't find the need. In real life, for sure, I use flight following whenever I was flying, but flying in a sim, I don't find the benefit of it. So now, if you're doing a group flight, you know, then the online networks, that would make all kinds of sense, where you can talk back and forth, or you can not necessarily not talk back and forth. That's wrong use of the frequency, but you can announce your positions and stuff. Okie dokie. We're 3 miles out, and I ain't quite seeing the airport. It's like right in front of me. So I am set up for a left downwind. So if I'm on a left downwind, I'm thinking it's right over there. I'm thinking it's right there. So I'm going to turn a little bit out. And actually, it's right there. I see it now. I'm quite sure it is. Yeah, that's it. Runway's right there. And let me think here. Oh, gotta go this side. So right now, my heading bug is on 26, and I'm going that way. So I have to land going the direction I am right now. So I'll go out here a little bit, kind of get level again. So I'm kind of doing a teardrop, and so I'm kind of doing a teardrop out, then I'll make a 180, and I'll be on a left downwind for runway 26. So that's what I mean about seeing airports and runways. In weather like this, you really have to know what you're looking for. And what are you looking for? You're looking for something that is in a straight line and is fairly long. 6,500 feet's more than a mile long. So you're looking for a pretty long straight thing. And when you kind of like know what you're looking for, you can kind of look through all this mucky haze, and they'll stick out. They won't stick out at 5 or they won't stick out at 10 miles out for sure. But even I was less than 3 miles out before I was sure that was the airport. Alrighty. So I went out here far enough, and I'm gonna do, I wanna make sure I'm absolutely past the end of that runway. So then I'm gonna just do a gradual 180-degree turn here. Just a standard right turn. Doesn't have to be done too crazy here. I'm plenty of distance out, and I'm far enough away from the runway that I don't have to do this too tight. So I keep recorrecting. And sometimes when you do this, you kind of like lose track. Where did the runway go? So that's the runway over there. So I'm a little bit far away from the runway. So that's okay. We'll make it work. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 26.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf call turning final for runway 26.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 331 at 9 knots cleared for the option runway 26.
So when I look at my, so I'm parallel with that runway. When I look at my winds, my strut, I can see that it's not in the middle. So I'm a little bit too far away. So just have to kind of pay attention to that when I start getting ready to try to make sure I see the end of the runway. There it is. And so back with the power here. We're gonna go to, I'm not gonna go back very far. I'm trying to hold back on the yoke here. 1 notch of flaps. So because I'm further away, I'm going to turn like a little bit earlier. Second notch of flaps. I've got about 1800 RPM in here. I'm not descending by too much. Okay, there we go. Since I'm farther away, I have to kind of, if I would drop at 500 feet a minute from the time I turned off and downwind, I would be, I'd end up being too low. So I'm kind of like correcting what I'm doing here. Not looking too bad. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 331 at 9 knots cleared for the option runway 26.
Alrighty. So, 2 notches of flaps are in. We are approaching runway 26. Things are looking pretty good. I'm a little bit high. Got a little bit of a displaced threshold here. There's 26 on the runway. I'm on the right runway. Awesome. Up we go. So I release the pressure on the yoke. I'm trying to see if I've got it if I retrim the aircraft for takeoff, I'm just a little bit, I got to get it to climb just a little bit quicker. Trying to climb like 85 knots, maybe less. Yeah, that's pretty good right there. Cool. Next heading is 267. So we're 500 feet above the ground here. Actually, we can pull back to 2200. Try to get the plane level here, about 1500. Actually, I can go higher than that. Just a slow turn here. Yeah, that all worked out pretty good. So since I was too far from the runway, instead of doing my normal 500 feet per minute, I kind of slowed that up a little bit, and it was doing maybe 300 feet a minute until I got on final and was at 500 feet above the runway. Then at that point in time, then I can go back to my my standard approach. So. That's the runway there, so we'll go down here past that runway. I'm at like 2,000 feet here, so we'll stop this climbing right now. That way I'm like 500 feet above the pattern. I don't need to worry about other traffic getting in their way and that good stuff. Still wants to climb. Okay, gotta get to a heading of 267. I'm turning, but I'm turning really slow. So a heading of about west is about right. So I'm turning way under a standard rate turn, so I'm doing a really gradual turn here. Alrighty, I'm gonna straighten off here, and then once I'm past this runway, then I'll continue my turn. So I kind of like straightened up right here, and so right now I'm actually going north. So pattern is 1500. Anybody coming in this way on final, they'll be at 1500, or they'll be at 1,000. So I'm 1,000 feet above that. So. Alrighty, go back on my turn. Try to get to a heading of 267. Okie doke. So the next airport is Oxford. You got a stadium. And it says Luton. That's pretty neat. Yeah, pretty much all of the shimmers that I had before are like gone. That's pretty nice. I am quite happy with how this is looking today. There's a couple. I'm like, there's one over there, but they're rare. They're not everywhere. It's kind of interesting. So it's kind of the angles of the sun and stuff. Like that one was, it's not anymore. Those two are right now. And it's kind of like the angle of the sun. Awesome. Yeah, when I originally picked this route, every route was like, every airport was about 30 miles away or 25 miles away, and I went, that's a little too close, so I went ahead and redid it to try to get to get them up, not necessarily 50, but close. So, so the whole flight isn't just getting ready for the next airport. So at least I get to enjoy the scenery before I get to another airport. So. Yeah, when I first started streaming in VR, I would always like only fly to airports I'd flown to before. It was kind of crazy. It was kind of like I was just afraid to like fly to an airport I've never seen before, and but part of it was I wasn't very good at it. I would have a heck of a time just trying to set up for a pattern, trying to get my approach right and all that stuff. And so it took some experience to be able to do that with pretty serious comfort. You know, where you kind of know what to expect. You know when to expect it, when to make a call, and how you need to approach. If the tower has told you you're making a left downwind for a certain airport, then that determines how you need to approach that airport, and having like the runway indicator dialed in ahead of time allows you to kind of glance and go, whoops, wrong. You know, you can see it from, I wasn't even on the runway property when I realized on the Luton that I was approaching. I was going to go on the wrong side of the runway for a left downwind for runway 26. But I caught that before I was even on the runway property, so. But that's all preparation. And you're doing that for an airport that I've landed at Luton before. Don't think I landed from that direction, but if you kind of like know those general principles, you land at any airport, quite frankly. That's why I have been doing Microsoft Flight Simulator group flights, and there's a couple of different groups that do like bush flights, and now those are really hard because they don't do a pattern. If they're kind of like lined up the way the runway is, sometimes they're regardless of the way the wind's blowing. That's the way they're going to land, and sometimes it's some of them bush strips are they're really there's not a lot of approach to them. so you got to just about drop it in, and then at the very last minute get rid of your inertia, and so that you can get the plane stopped before the end of the runway. Have been flying like 208, a Cessna 208, and I never played around with the reverses too much. I am amazed at how quick that thing can come to a stop. You put the reverses on and give it full reverse thrust, man, that thing will stop quick. It'll stop. I swear it stops faster than its brakes do. I mean, it is amazing. So, but it's all in a matter of mapping things. I mean, so I got it mapped on my yoke, you know, where I can put the reversers on and then give it throttle, and she comes to a stop pretty quick. Oops. A little too much power. Thought it sounded that way. Had about 23 and it should have been at 2200. Alrighty, next airport. Oxford. So, EGTK. So Oxford's at 270. Setcom 133.430.
Com 1 set to 133.43.
Oh, that wasn't my plan, but that's okay. Well, let's get down the elevation a little bit here. Don't need to be this high. I'm like 2,200 feet. It generally makes the airports easier to find, but as hazy as it is, it probably won't help. I wonder which runways they're going to give us. So I got two asphalt runways. One is 4,300, one's 2,400. One doesn't appear to be well lined up with the wind. That'll be interesting. I got a runway 01 and 19 and one that's 11 and 29. The wind is 330. The other is 19, so 101. So 01's over here. Oh, that's it. It's gonna be 01. The wind's over here. At least that's my guess. Tower Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Tower, go ahead.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf inbound to land.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, good afternoon. Squawk 1200 altimeter 3045, expect to enter on a left downwind for runway 01. Call downwind.
Okay, I guessed it right. I was taking flight lessons for real. I had such a hard time trying to figure out if the wind was blowing X, which runway should I use? And I would use like calculators, charts, and all kinds of stuff. I just had such a hard time doing that. And I don't know what. I just started looking at it and kind of like, wait a minute, just pick the runway that's the one you want to land on. In other words, the longest one that you want to land on, and the one that the number is the closest to the direction of the wind. Once I figured that out, and I actually only figured this out not that long ago, I've been pretty spot on with, as long as I'm using real weather, and with Pilot ATC, I've been like spot on. I'll know the runway sheet that they're going to give me before I ever ask for permission to land. So I guess that's the right way to do it. I don't know. I don't fly in real life anymore, so no way to actually test that in real life. But this is about as close as I'll ever get, and I certainly am having fun doing it. So airport's 6 miles out. Yep, 6.6. Runway 01. We get a little closer here. Kind of figure out what's the right approach, and actually my GPS here, or yeah, my GPS kind of point me, kind of show me the direction of the runway, and we'll kind of go from there. So we got an airport that's 5.5 miles away from us. And quite frankly, I don't know where that is. So you see things that kind of like look like possibilities. Like there's something over here that looks like it's possible, but it kind of seems like it's too close. So if I make a turn, how am I going to go? No, it looks right. So, the direction I'm flying, basically on course, kind of. If I make a left-hand turn, it's going to put my heading indicator in the bottom. So I am basically to the right of the airport. Haven't found it yet, but there it is. It's up ahead. Pretty sure. So you're out there looking through all this haze, and I'm way too high. We'll power back to 2000. Give me the descend. I'm like at 1800. Shouldn't be quite that high. Should be at 1200 per pattern, so 1500 would be. So it says that airport's really close to me right now. Oh, where is it? So I'm trying to get low enough here. I think it's right there. Let me zoom out a little bit. Three miles out. I'm trying to get level right here. It's not a really big airport, so wow. I'm a little over a mile from this airport. And not found. And it says it's asphalt, so that it there? No, that's a road. There it is. Wow. Whoop, wrong side. Kept looking. It's like, where the heck is this airport? So I'm a little bit low. We'll get lined up here. Yeah, this one's gonna be a shorty. Pull power back to about 2,000. Okay, roll her around. I may be like a little bit snug. We'll work through it. There she is. Oh yeah, no problem. So this is Oxford. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind, runway 01.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 01.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 311 at 6 knots, cleared for the option runway 01.
Okay. Alrighty. It's trying to get out a little bit more. Okay, back with some power. Pull up on the yoke. 1 notch of flaps. Trying to get parallel. Want to be about 1800 here. Looking to be at a 45-degree angle. Looks good. Turn on base. 2nd notch of flaps. Too steep a turn. And watch the airspeed just dropping. Square up on the base. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 311 at 6 knots, cleared for the option runway 01.
Get over the runway, Bo. Wasn't a good approach, but it pulled it off. It's a matter of knowing how far back to pull on that yoke. You know the plane's stalled, but it's not gonna drop. See, let's relieve the pressure just a little bit. Just ride the stall horn until all of a sudden the ground's gonna meet you. Yeah. 13 seconds float. Alrighty. 6-2. We're 500 feet. We'll go ahead and make our turn here. Alrighty, pull the power back. 2200. So basically my course is behind me. I'm gonna go off this way a little bit, then do a 180. Just want to stay away from that airport. Alrighty, do a 180. Need to be on a course of 62. So that should be behind me. Mm-hmm. Oh, 27 miles. So the next airport is Cranfield. Com1 standby 134.930.
Com1 standby set to 134.903.
I am finding my my mod mic wireless works way better than any of the headset microphones. Many times when I use plane plane command, it'd get it wrong. I'd have to repeat it, but it like gets it right. Like I can't remember a time when it got it wrong since I started using the at-line mod mic wireless. It just works so great to have something that works so well. And I use the same. So I use that same mic for Pilot's ATC, and it's the same way. As long as I tell it the right thing. It's a part with Pilot's ATC. Generally, if you give it too much information, it just chokes. It doesn't know what to do with it. So I find less information is more. You don't need to say, like holding short or any of that stuff. All you have to do is just say ready for departure. Just say tower ready for departure. That's it. You don't need to tell them you're holding short. Evidently, they know that. But if you try to tell them that, then it seems to get them confused. So it's like, okay, I'll quit doing that then. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with my VR choices right now. That it just turns into enjoyment, not a big hassle. So getting everything set up right to begin with is, I guess I would call that, it's not a hassle. It's just something you have to do. But if you have it all set up ahead of time, it's not a big deal. What time we got? Okay, not too bad. Fuel looking okay? I think I got enough fuel. I put 17 gallons in on each tank, so I thought I'd be good. Bunch of runways. But the majority of them are grass. I don't plan on landing on grass today. So what's winds? 300. Looking like we're landing on 03. Yeah, the grass strips are under 1,000 feet long. Like 980 and 930. It's like, ooh, that's a short grass runway there. Elevation 355. Tower, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Tower, go ahead.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf inbound to land.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, good afternoon. Squawk 1200 altimeter 3042, expect to enter on a left downwind for runway 03. Call downwind.
Okay. Oh, 4.9 miles away? Yep, right there. I know it wasn't that far away. I kind of like lost track of the runway for just a little bit. Habitat was a little bit in the way. There it is, though. We're okay. Trying to give myself too much of a thrill there. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind, runway 30.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf call turning final for runway 03.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf requests touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 311 at 10 knots cleared for the option runway 03.
Okay. Get out a little bit here. Just trying to get a little bit wider of the runway. There we go. So I'm going to pull the power back to 1800. Pull back on the yoke here. One notch of flaps. Looking for the runway. There it is. Okay, turn in on base. Second notch of flaps. $355 feet. Roll her out. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf turning final.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 311 at 10 knots cleared for the option runway 03.
It was a little too tight to the runway there, so gotta do a little corrective action here. Okay, one more to go. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, we got to be to a heading of 075. Let's see where the runway is. Okay. 075 is behind me. Go west for a little bit here and then do a 180. Alrighty. Pull the power back to 22. Let's do a standard right turn here. Should get turned around before I get too close to that airport. And that's kind of cool. You know, sun reflecting off the windshield there. Pretty neat. $75. There's 90. 80. Slow her down. 75. Okay. Put the nose back down. Power back to 2200. 30 miles out. EGSC. Let's be close to the water. "44 feet. Set COM 1 standby 125.900.
COM 1 standby set to 125.9er.
Perfect. So the lower the sun gets in the sky, the more difficult the haze is to deal with. Oh well. We ain't far away, so we're okay. $310. Turf, turf, turf. Hopefully we've got an asphalt. Yeah. 5. Yep. 5. There's some pretty big buildings there. Huh. Maybe a university or something? Suppose it could be a factory, but it doesn't quite look that way. Like a tank farm. We're getting close to the coast where there'd be some ships. I'll take a slight detour. So before I change my settings, if I'd be looking at that tower, I'd see a pretty big shimmer. That's gone. That's pretty cool. Alrighty, back on course. Yep. Gotta get landed just before it gets really difficult to see. Get to see the lights and stuff. That's kind of cool. Oh, the airport's our final airport is 13 miles away. Interesting. Tower Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Tower, go ahead.
Tower Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Tower, go ahead.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf inbound to land.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, good evening. Squawk 1200 altimeter 3039 or enter pattern on a left downwind for runway 23. Call downwind.
Okay, I got that one wrong. 21, 22, 23, okay. There she is. That's not 6 Bravo Golf, say weather. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, say weather.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf weather at Echo Golf Sierra Charlie is scattered. Visibility is unrestricted, winds are 320 at 9 knots, cloud coverage is 3000 scattered. Current altimeter is 3039. Temperature 16°.7.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 23.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 23.
Okay, here's the runway numbers. Pull back power a bit. Hold the yoke up. One notch of flaps. Trying to make sure that runway is about 45 degrees when we make our turn to base. We're good enough. Make our turn. 2 notches of flaps are in. Letting the nose drop so that I start losing some altitude here. Squared up on base, looking for that runway. There it is. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 320 at 9 knots, cleared to land runway 23.
A lot of traffic tonight. Okay, turn on final. Got a big long lead in here. I turned like a little bit early, but that's okay. I'll pull back to maybe 1500 here. Yeah. Should be okay. Runway's pretty good in length. Last notch of flaps. Coming in a bit high. Dropping a little too quick here, Bill.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf exit runway when able.
Oops. Missed that taxiway. Poor and late flare, you are absolutely right. Whenever I have to get a lot of power out, I'm always like a little late to get it back in. There we go. But that's okay. The same way as when it gets darker, your depth perception kind of gets a little messed up here. That does not look like a... Cessna 6 Bravo Golf ready to taxi to general aviation. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. Tower Cessna 6 Bravo Golf ready to taxi to general aviation parking.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf taxi to general aviation parking via taxiways Alpha.
So, where do you think general? That's one big airplane there. Wow. I'm not sure I can taxi by him. I think I'm going over here. If it wasn't dark, might be a little different, but let me spin around. Can I actually get by him? You don't look too civilian to me. I didn't think this was a military base, but it has all the trappings of that. I'm taxiing to places I probably don't belong. It's a big airport. Bigger than I thought. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna park right here. Maybe I'm not supposed. Oh, maybe right over here. I'll assume this is a flight school. Okay. Parking brake. We made it. About what I thought for, oh. Alrighty. Well, that was fun. Did pretty fair landings. Not too bad. Last one was a little, wasn't really sketchy. This, I just pulled the power back too much. I tend to do that when I think I'm not going to get down fast enough. And I kind of like second guess myself. And so what's the elevation here? 44? Yeah, pretty close. And I just tend to do that. And then I don't get the power back in quick enough. So the plane's like descending like way too quick. And you got that inertia. So you got to get enough power in there to kind of prevent it. Sometimes that's hard to do. Alrighty, got a call today to anybody who has watched or watches in the future and you enjoy this content, please click on the follow button, and so you'll know when I go ahead and stream. I won't be streaming tomorrow. I'll probably the following day I probably will. And that's kind of weird. Not sure what that was, but almost like maybe the weather changed or something. But yeah, click on the follow button, and it's up. Without anything else, been fun, and kind of did what I wanted to do today. So we'll call it a day. Goodbye. Hey, no problem, Iowa. Thank you. Thanks for dropping by. It's really appreciated. And yeah, I'm glad I don't have to worry about that anymore. But thank you very much for dropping by. Goodbye.